Hello and welcome back to my channel. As I'm sure you've seen in the news and really all over the place, Twitter, since Elon Musk has bought it, is really falling apart. And it's not just falling apart in one area, it's really falling apart altogether. So if you didn't know, I'll kind of give you the basics first. Elon Musk put in an offer to buy Twitter in the spring, then he kind of pulled out, but he had already signed the contract, so they kind of forced him into it. He actually went through with buying it about a month ago, and since then it has just been one news article after another about the disaster that Twitter is now. So first off, Elon drastically overpaid for Twitter. Now, of course, it depends what analysis you use for how much is Twitter worth, but the typical consensus is that Elon Musk paid about 20% more than it was worth. So Elon Musk paid $44 billion, and he bought it at a price of $54.20 per share, and the typical analysis is that it should have been about $45 or so per share. And a large reason for this is, while it is very valuable because it's Twitter, everyone knows it, and it is one of the largest social media companies in the world. However, even though it has a large audience, it has not made money. In fact, in the past 11 years, only twice has Twitter been profitable. So in 2018 and in 2019, Twitter made about $1 billion. However, every other year, Twitter has lost money, including 2020, where it lost $1.1 billion. So why is this? And I wasn't exactly sure, so I took a look into their financial statements, and I looked at the most recent thing I could find, which was their Form 10-Q, which is a quarterly financial statement that large public companies have to put out there just to kind of let their investors and people who own their stock know how the company is doing. So I checked this out, which you can see on SEC Edgar if you were curious to find it yourself. And the first thing I went to is the income statement. So if you weren't aware, the income statement really just kind of shows you all you need to know about the income. A bit self-explanatory, but I'm sure a lot of people have never looked at one. So they have a revenue in the second quarter of 2022 of about $1.1 billion, which sounds great. However, they have total expenses of $1.5 billion. So that means even during the quarter in which Elon Musk offered to buy this company, it lost about $400 million. And why is this? And honestly, their expenses are just really high. They have cost of revenue at $500 million, and this can cover a lot of stuff, and they don't get in too specific of details, but essentially the cost it takes to run the business, to, let's say, keep the servers running, and all of that. They also spent another about $500 million on research and development. And it does not get in too specific of detail on what they spend their $450 million research and development on, but it is largely on the salaries of the people who are in it, and it says they work on investments in engineering, product, design, and research, so that's pretty bland, so I can't exactly tell you what that means, unfortunately. And then finally, they spend their last $500 million on sales and marketing, which would make sense. I mean, marketing, of course, for any large company is a huge expense just to draw more people into the company. And then general and administrative is also in that block. So anyway, Elon knew that Twitter has been losing money left and right consistently. So why did Elon spend so much money on Twitter? And to be honest, I'm not sure. It doesn't make sense to me. I think he paid too much, and I don't know why you would want to buy Twitter. I did hear rumors that Elon wanted to make his own social media platform, and then advisors told him it would be cheaper just to buy Twitter than to make his own that was successful. So maybe that was it. Maybe it's you just get to do things like this when you are one of the richest people in the world, and even though it does cost $45 billion, he has that. However, since he's taken over, he's really trying to change things up. The first thing you've probably seen all over the news is he is attempting, actually it's not attempting, he is charging $8 per month to have a blue verified checkmark. And if you've never used Twitter before, in the old days, The blue check mark is what was given out to people who were verified, so you knew it was a real public figure. So like, let's say it's Tom Brady. If it's the real Tom Brady account, it would have had a verified check mark on it. So if you saw the blue check mark, you know it's real. However, nowadays, if you see a blue check mark, it just means someone was willing to pay $8. So it really doesn't make sense to me or to anybody, because if you can buy a blue check mark, then what's the point in having one? But anyway, it's going to happen. And after lots of backlash, Elon said you can complain as much as you want. It's going to cost $8 because he says that Twitter needs to make money. So, I mean, I guess, I don't know, it just doesn't make sense to me. And then there is another big thing that has happened on Twitter that doesn't have as much news coverage as the previous things. And that is what Elon has done to the staff of Twitter. So originally, Elon said he was going to fire 75% of the people who worked there. And of course, this is crazy. There's no way that Twitter has 75% of the staff that was unneeded. Maybe if he fired 20%, I could understand, even though that still sounds really high, but 75% is just crazy. And, you know, he backed down. He didn't actually fire 75%. He actually laid off 50%, so still insanely high. And not only did he lay off 50%, he did it illegally at first. So at first, he sent an email, and he essentially said, "You're fired next week." And this was against the law. You needed to give a minimum of 60 days notice for mass layoffs. So if it's just one person that you're firing, you could have fired them. However, if you're firing 50% of the company, you need to give them 60 days notice. So there was a class action lawsuit that was beginning to be formed, and in response to that, Elon then said, "Oh, here's 60 days notice," and he gave them severance pay of 60 days of pay. And then he tried to spin it like he was doing something good for him, even though he was just complying with the law. But of course, there's more to this if you look a bit into it, and that is the people that didn't get fired are having a terrible job at this point. Since, as I'm sure you can imagine at your job, if you lost half the people, all of the work just gets compiled onto you. So there have been many stories at Twitter of people working 7 days a week, 12-hour shifts. So this is an 84-hour week, which, I mean, first off, there's no way you can be effective for 84 hours. Like, there's just no way. 84 hours in a week, no days off, it's not going to work. And even worse is, a lot of the people who work at Twitter are high income earners, and they're really valuable people who could find a job easily. So, before too long, a lot of people are going to quit. So then the people who are left are going to have to work even more. They're going to have to work 86 hours or 90 hours. And it's just not going to work. People have even, I mean, as it is today, people are already sleeping there. There are lots of stories of managers and staff sleeping there multiple nights of the week, and pictures of people sleeping at Twitter's headquarters. So I don't understand how someone so successful as Elon Musk can run a company so poorly. So even though he's made Tesla super successful, he had PayPal, he had SpaceX, which has all been super successful. However, all of these have also had stories of working their employees way too hard and just burning through them. And then something I also forgot to mention, but I think is worth noting, is Twitter used to have a work from home policy in which many people could just work from home if they wanted to, at least a majority of the time. However, Elon is very, very against that. So Elon wants everybody in the office every day. So pretty much as soon as Elon Musk took over Twitter, he said, "Sorry, you're not working from home. You have to work here in the office." So really all around, Twitter is a mess. And not only on the back end, the people running it, the way he's running it, also on the front end with the verification check issue, $8, it really just doesn't mean anything anymore. And a lot of people and sponsorships have already left Twitter because of how it's mismanaged. So anyway, now it's time for everybody's favorite part of the video, the joke of the day. Joke of the day, joke of the day, boop, boop, joke of the day. It looks like I'm going to have to stay late at work tonight. I have to attend this meeting on work-life balance. So thanks for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please leave a like, subscribe, and leave a comment on the video or an idea for a future video. Thanks. Bye.